If you can trust yourself, if you can trust the process, and not just trust it blindly because you understand it, it means that as you make decisions in the future, you are never uncertain about them. Or if you are uncertain, you can bring it back to the process. How this works, again, it's a proven framework, right? It's a proven framework with results, and I'll show some of those again in a second, right? It follows very clear naming conventions. Now, naming conventions can be whatever you like, as long as they're consistent and they're broken down into an isolated process, and I'll show that as well. It follows the strategic business metrics, meaning the golden metric, right? So it's critical that you understand the components of your CPA or ROAS, right? Which really comes down to what you can afford to spend on acquiring a first-time customer. We're going to leave it at that to start with, right? But that will definitely be one of your growth components, is to understand the maximum allowable CPA based on understanding your cost of goods, right? Based on understanding your shipping cost, if it exists, right? And for cost of goods, I tend to keep it as strictly to the cost of good as possible. If you're manufacturing and importing, it would be landed cost. If you have a business that is labor-based, then you can roll labor up into it. The problem with that is if you roll labor into it, but you've got capacity for, say, 50% more revenue off the same labor capacity, then you're potentially artificially limiting yourself on what you can afford to acquire a sale at, because you're not utilizing capacity appropriately.